When I was 10 years old, we were riding horses in North Carolina. It was a beautiful blue sky, sunny day, cool breezes. A snake interrupted the trail ride, and one of the horses spooked and reared, and a rider came off and broke their arm. There was a bone protruding through the skin. Volunteer firefighters were the first on the scene, and that was a dramatic experience. When I was 15, I became a volunteer fireman. Firemen respond to many things: heart attacks, strokes, birthing of babies, but car accidents are the most common, and fractures are frequently part of that event. My affinity for animals made me realize the enormous need to provide these animals with the same standards of care that we offer people. I'd probably still be in my hometown today if I had not seen the tremendous possibilities for emergency and trauma medicine in animals as it is in people. My research focus is using biomaterials that are compatible with the body to aid the body to heal. In collaboration with colleagues at the University of Arkansas at Little Rock, we've led the development of a scaffold that is used to stimulate healing of tissues that would not be able to heal on their own. This led us to the Army and the needs that they have with their wounded warriors. Soldiers continue to be deployed around the world and suffer a variety of injuries. Musculoskeletal injuries are among the most common, and very frequently fractures occur as that. Exceeds 10% of injuries that they suffer. So there's a great need to solve a serious problem. There's an urgent need to help wounded warriors return to the high quality of life that they deserve. More than 70% of battlefield injuries involve the limbs, and more than 40% of those result in fractures, many of which result in limb amputations. It's vitally important to support these soldiers and provide them the opportunity to have a good quality of life. Injuries are not exclusive to soldiers. They also occur in the civilian population. More than 15 million civilians suffer fractures on an annual basis, with 10 to 20% of those not healing properly. Over 185,000 amputations per year, and many of these result in a poor quality of life. But nature has shown us what we can do. In our work, we're dedicated to the 3 R's, or the 4 R's, which are regeneration, restoration of tissues, rehabilitation of patients, and returning to the quality of life that we deserve. So we need solutions to solve these problems. We can overcome these obstacles through interdisciplinary teams. In our group, we work with experts in many fields, including stem cells, biomaterials, engineering, and nanotechnology. And together, we're able to create solutions to these problems. Developing structures that mimic tissues in the body is more challenging than it might sound. Tissues are complex, highly structured tissues, and fabrication of three-dimensional structures is essential to try to create biomimetic advice. The picture on the right is a kitchen sponge, which actually represents tissue structure. In our research, we're using materials and cells to regenerate and restore tissues. This cartoon on the left is a crude precursor to the nanotechnology three-dimensional structure on the right, which we're using currently to regenerate bone. We perform a lot of variety of diagnostic tests on these devices to try to determine their best use in tissue regeneration. Each tissue is different, and therefore each implant that's designed for those tissues has to be created to match the unique environment in which they're utilized. The goal of these biomimetic structures is to guide tissue regeneration. Many of our technologies can be used for simultaneous delivery of drugs and to help improve the rate and quality of healing of those tissues. All right. This image, we utilize complex tools to assess the effectiveness of these materials, and so we do a lot of different analyses to try to tell us and guide us how to develop these complex structures. Yep. This image depicts the ideal interaction that we might see with a scaffold in tissues. It highlights collagen and bone that's forming on the surface of the tissue, but also what is growing into the interior. When we see tissues growing into the interior of the scaffolds, we know that we've been able to establish neurovascular networks, which is necessary. Special stains allow us to look at the types of tissues that are being formed in these scaffolds, and in these images, the dark particles represent calcium and phosphorus-rich tissues, and so we know that we've stimulated these cells to start forming tissues that will turn into bone. Biomimetic structures can help to accelerate tissue regeneration, and more recently, graphene, nanoparticles, and stem cells have offered hope for the improvement and healing of bone. Cell therapy is a rapidly expanding field in humans and animals alike, and offers the ability to provide cells within a structure to which they can mature into functional tissues. Throughout our research, we can never forget our goal of helping injured warriors and civilians, as well as our animal companions, which are so important to people's quality of life. The tremendous people that help us invent, study, and implement these technologies for these purposes are a constant reminder of the importance and urgency of the need. As faculty, we have the tremendous honor of working with so many bright people at the beginnings of their career. As advisors and mentors, we must ensure that our students and staff grow to become the people they want to be. If they succeed, then we are successful. There is extraordinary work to be done, and we're fortunate to have been featured in a Homeland Defense Tech Talk, which illustrates some of the work that we're doing, but it also illustrates the vast quantities of work that the Department of Defense is funding across the country to try to meet these needs. Thank you.